So everybody wants to land big houses like this, obviously, because it's a high ticket job. And in today's video, I'm going to give you 3 bullet points on how to land these residential jobs, these massive mansions. And all 3 of my bullet points are going to sound rather simple, but in every single one of them, you got to stay all the way to the end. I'm going to share with you a poignant nugget that if you implement this, it will guarantee you land more jobs of this magnitude. But before we jump into it, roll that beam footage on them. If you don't know who I am, my name is Aaron Parker, and since 2020, I have had the honor and privilege of coaching over 10,000 guys and gals around the globe and starting a highly profitable lean and mean pressure washing business. And teaming up with some of my most successful best friends in the industry, the Core 4 and myself have taken all of the guesswork out for you and have distilled this pressure washing business building process into an easy to follow formula. So if you're interested in skipping the line and the learning curve, I'll put some links in the description to some of the courses that we offer, some of the products we've invented and innovated, and some of the events that we have coming up. Oh, and if you're digging the content, go ahead and hit the subscribe button for me. Let's go. Yep, so looking forward to seeing any of you guys in there. Now, the first bullet point is a word that's thrown around a lot, and I think it devalues the heaviness of this word if you're wanting to close big jobs like this, and that word is mindset. Now, mindset sounds so contrived. It sounds like a D-level Tony Robbins word, right? But I'm going to give you the nugget here. If you don't believe you're worth $3,000 a day, which this job you're watching is $3,000. The money was made in an 8-hour workday, and Ben Wilson is the only guy cleaning this job. So if you don't believe you're worth $3,000 a day, you will never make $3,000 a day. There is something probably ingrained in you, as it was me as a kid, as a child, that people that I know didn't make $3,000 a month, much less $3,000 a week, and no way in hell $3,000 a day. That type of money was unheard of. But as I grew, as I read a ton of books, took a ton of courses, went to a ton of classes, I started figuring out there's a lot of people who make even way more than that. So the first bullet point you got to get over is this parasitical mindset that your childhood, your broke raising has given you. Now, I'm not saying that you got to get to where Ben is today, but what you do have to do is you have to get where Ben is within a year or 2 years. Okay. Now you might say, Aaron, how do I adopt this mindset? I know a lot of men out there, we have a lot of pride and we'll never admit this, but you may be thinking this right now. How do I get to where I feel like I'm worth that? And we can pound our shoulder, pound our chests as much as we want and say we believe that, and then we go out and we quote this job at $500. We underprice it, thinking we're going to get the job because we quoted low. And I will tell you that this client owns a ton of property in the city of Nashville. They're one of the richest families, one of the oldest families in the city, and they would believe you're a crackhead if you quoted it at $500 and you wouldn't be allowed on the property. So mindset actually can help you, but it can also hold you back. A lot of people with broke mindsets don't believe their low pricing could ever lose them the job. And it does a lot of the times with high-end clientele. Underpricing yourself is what we call bad positioning, bad optics. It gives a bad taste in the mouth of the customer, and they don't want you around them. Why? Because they drive very expensive vehicles. They have very expensive things, and the money you think is expensive is cheap to them. So get your mind right. The first bullet point, guys, is mindset. And this is going to be a developing thing throughout your business. Let's go to number 2. Now, number 2 weaves into number 1 and number 3 that I'm going to share with you here in a bit. Like a tapestry, all of these things are linked together, and you're going to notice that as you build your business if you follow this formula. Number 2 is be clear and concise with the customer. Sounds contrived, right? Sounds very cliche. Of course I would be clear and concise on what the job entails. But I want you to look a little deeper into that phrasing in regards to pricing and landing these jobs. What be clear and concise means is be willing to lose the job on behalf of being so clear about the expectations with the customer that they trust you even more. Now, this is a code that a lot of guys stuck in that broke matrix never unlock. They never get to this point because they're always in retreat mode, price low mode. They're always in, just figure out a way to land the job. And I will tell you, if you will do what Ben Wilson does and what I've done, what a lot of these successful lean and mean guys do, and in the training we teach this, is be so clear and concise about the issues on the exterior of their home. If you see anything pop up, you stop everything and you go tell them. If you see anything on the pre-walkthrough, you tell them. You tell them the expectations that they're going to be able to get and what they should never expect. And here's the key: be willing to lose the job on behalf of the truth. Now, with broke customers, you may lose a few because you didn't promise them the world. We didn't want those people anyway, and they're probably going to be an insurance claim in the long run, and you didn't want them. But these high-end clients, if you will be so clear and so abundant in the way that you walk and speak about the expectations, and maybe the stain's never going to come all the way out. They love to hear it. You wouldn't think that, but they do. So be clear and concise about the expectations and always under promise and over deliver. Being clear and concise with what you put in your estimate and how you speak with them will garner you more trust and make you more money, as it ties into the mindset we just spoke about and this third bullet point. Let's go into the number 3. Now, number 3, guys, look, if you follow these bullet points, I promise you're going to close more high ticket jobs. Now, this stuff goes a lot deeper into the psychology of selling that I can't share within this video because I don't have enough time, and everybody would be bored out of their mind if we got that deep. But the third bullet point is close and follow up. Now, again, one of those things you've heard a million times, but here's the key. Did you know that 70% of salesmen never follow up the first time? 70% of salesmen lose the job because they just give them the estimate and they never close. When I first started in 2017 and I was living in my van, had $500 to my name, I promised myself I would close that high ticket. Okay, I would value myself for once in my life, finally. And number 2, I'm not leaving the property without a yes or a no. I always closed, frankly, because I had to. My finances, my life depended on it at that point in time. So I want you to close abundantly, but I want you to be very intentional with how you close. Always make the customer tell you yes or no. Always follow up and get a yes or no answer. They're not allowed. You don't give this job to the customer. You never ping pong the ball back into their court and allow them to leave you hanging. Okay, that is bad business for you. That is a waste of a lead. That is a waste of an estimate. If you went and walked the property, that's a waste of all that time. So make sure you get a yes or a no. And I promise you, if it's yes, you schedule the job. If it's no, it's not no forever. It's no for now. And you're going to follow up with them in a month. You're going to follow up with them next month. You're going to put them on the email follow-up list. And you're going to follow up. Here's the key. You guys know what I say. Till they die or till I die. That is how long we follow up. We follow up forever. They never get to leave our orbit. So I hope you got a lot out of this video, guys. Give it a like if you did. I want you guys to win so much, and I'll see you in the next video.
What?
Show me them teeth. The man with the gold makes the rules.
YouTube's called AKA the black hole. You know what that means? If you're watching it and you keep on scrolling, it's sucking your brain cells out of your mind, which equal to more gamer soy boy. The more you play video games, the more you get sucked into the video game.
Probably don't have a dad, do they?
No. Or they have a dad that's a soy boy.